I heard through the grapevine that this game was going to be a AAA release, so I found myself looking forward to starting my review on it. This game is made by Square Enix, the company that makes Final Fantasy games. For starters, this game was a prequel to the original Deus Ex, which was developed and released on the PC and Mac. Wow, a game that was made for Mac. I didn't see that coming. It was developed in 2000, then 2 years later on the PlayStation 2. I've not played the first one, so I can't give any insight to any connections made between the two. I put the game's difficulty on Tell Me a Story, and I'm telling ya, I still find it very hard, which makes me kinda wonder how fucking hard the other settings are. I decided that because I'm used to playing with an Xbox controller, and this game actually supports it, I would use it. But man, I'm telling you, some games get the configuration right and some don't, and it baffles me to why a company would change the controls to a shooter when you got half the population of the world playing Call of Duty and Battlefield. Anywho, to make a long story short, I couldn't use its default only option. It made no sense to me whatsoever, so I'll be playing this one with a keyboard and mouse. Besides for dying a lot on its easiest setting, I managed to get through the main intro scene and get into the main body of the game. So you start out as a human with no augments, as the game calls it. Augments are robotic implants that give you special abilities. You begin with some sort of invasion in the facility in which you work. When you're sent to investigate, you get yourself tossed into combat. Something to notice is that you have no HUD. There's no info telling you your health or how much ammo you have. Anyways, you'll eventually get killed as you make your way to a trigger scene. Then you'll awake 6 months later with implants throughout your body, which actually gave you back your life. Now, if you'll notice, you'll have your HUD, which gives you all kinds of information, from health to XP. Eventually, you'll be sent on your first mission to find out what went on back 6 months ago when you were killed in the plant. When you get control of your character again, you'll find yourself in a building. They'll tell you to go to a tech lab, but I couldn't find it, so I wandered endlessly for about 10 to 15 minutes, with some dude pissed off telling me to hurry up to the tech lab.
Frank tells me he's still waiting for you, Adam. You don't have time to mess around. Get to the tech lab, or something seriously bad is gonna happen.
I did in fact eventually find a tech lab using the map. As the story progresses, you'll actually be picking up a few side missions to complete. This is a nice bonus as it can add extra hours to the game's main story.
I know you're busy with everything that's going on right now, but I could really use your help.
Sorry, Tim, but I really can't get involved with this right now.
Your map will have a yellow indicator, which is your main missions, and a blue indicator, which are your side missions. Wandering around the world and talking to people, you'll notice that your reputation precedes you. Some have anger towards you and some just need your help.
Ah, Mr. Jensen. David Serloff told me you'd be dropping by. I've just been reviewing the test results we received on you last week.
Should I start rolling up my sleeves?
You will have the ability to actually be mean to various people or be nice. What you choose does affect the story in the game, so choose wisely.
You're not my favorite person in the world.
You think I knew you'd be here? I'd have been just as happy without ever seeing you again, believe me. But I need to get into the morgue, so just open the door and stop getting in the way when innocent people are in danger.
You don't get to bully me, Jensen. You're not my boss anymore.
Another thing that caught me by surprise was how open the game was. It's almost letting you go anywhere in the futuristic world. This is actually how you're going to pick up extra side quests. As you talk to people throughout the world, you'll find some are racist towards you because you have augments. This seems to be a theme throughout the game. But your main mission will actually be to track down the guy that originally killed you. I mentioned that this game was hard already, but I find myself dying everywhere in the game's easiest setting. To top it all off, and I'm not sure if this is a good thing, but ammo is scarce. One could say it gives a sense of realism, so that's what I'm gonna go with. The game is fucking retardedly real. I can't find out where I'm supposed to go, and when I try to go anywhere, I die. So I guess I'm gonna have to change the way I'm playing here and go around a little bit more stealthy.
Drop yourself!
I've been noticing some similarities with Mass Effect. Dialogue gives you choices with consequences, and you sort of get the sense of an open world like in Mass Effect. but Mass Effect is on its own level. This game severely lacks its polish. Further into the game, I'm starting to enjoy playing, even though it's really hard. Everything seems upgradable and you get experience to spend on talent upgrades. You'll use these to make your augment stronger and add some new abilities to your body. You can also upgrade your weapons by buying packages from various vendors throughout the world, and when you combine them with your weapons, you can notice the upgrade right away. Putting an armor piercing upgrade on a handgun, the sound of the gun actually changes and the enemies get killed faster. You'll have to play this game a little bit more stealthy as the run and gun approach doesn't work very well. Also, you'll get more experience from silently taking down an enemy, and as you progress through the game gets harder and harder. The silent takedown moves are pretty cool, and fun to watch too as it triggers a little CGI scene using the in-game engine. You can either knock out your enemy or kill them. They also have bosses placed around as you advance throughout the game. I've always loved this sort of thing. Gives you a sense of progression. One thing I've noticed as I'm playing it more is that I'm actually enjoying it. The game got off to a really rocky start with me, but it does pick up. The graphics in the game are not what I would consider next generation. You can tell that the characters were animated using keyframes put in by hand. No motion capture was used and it shows. They look stiff and unpolished. Polygon count was also kept low and textures for the characters are pretty bad. When a character speaks, you can again see the drawn-in keyframing and it looks terror bad, especially for a game made in 2010 and 11.
No, I thought I'd get the lay of the land first. Anything you can tell me?
Mr. Seraph can brief you better than me, but he's not here yet. And we really do need you in top shape for this one.
When shooting your gun, the flashes and animations are barely on par with what I've seen in other games. The game does come with DirectX 11, but I've yet to see it really shine, and I suspect it was more tacked on than built around.
I need cover!
Another thing that really stands out in this game is the transition from CGI scenes to the in-game engine. You can go from a bright office and suddenly switch into a CGI scene that's more dark and dungy. They shouldn't have done that. It would have been better to actually use the in-game engine than the groggy CGI they used. I also noticed some white artifacts on the faces and other parts of characters. You may need to switch to 1080p mode here on this player to really see this, but they are there. The sound effects in the game are okay, with gunshots sounding like gunshots. Enemies will have scripts that you will hear over and over if they are alerted to your presence, and sometimes what they say don't make sense.
Cover me! Moving to attack! Die! I saw you!
Voice acting is okay. Some things will sound overdramatic, and you know when you see a character and you sort of have an idea what their voice is going to be like? Well, that's not the case with this game, especially for your character. I swear to God, it's Clint Eastwood doing the voiceover for him.
How serious is it?
Plenty. Some of our people were inside when it happened, working overtime.
On a Saturday evening?
Things have been difficult since we lost so many good people.
The game is a great strategic shooter with a level-up system that works. The atmosphere is dark and futuristic environments are good. It seems like it's trying to be a Mass Effect style game, and sometimes it's hit and sometimes it's miss. I did enjoy playing it, and I'll probably sit here after the review and play it through. There's really nothing that stands out and shines in the game that hasn't been done before. But the gameplay is solid if you can ignore the control scheme. You will, however, get used to it the more you play it. With that, I would like to thank you for watching my review, and stay tuned for my next review. I'm unsure what game I'll be doing this, just keep checking the Facebook page for updates. This is Dorman T. Rain. Communicate laters.